Hello. I wanted to talk to you. There's something I've made a mistake many times. Not many times, but I've made this mistake before. But I've made the mistake many times in life, doing many different things. And it goes right up to business situations, decisions you've made that turned out to be very bad decisions. You know, we've all made them. We've all made terrible decisions that cost us in the long run. Between substance that we've done, not doing what we should have on jobs or education, and relationships, which is a biggie now that I talk about because it's such a huge thing, is jumping into something that you shouldn't have jumped right into. And I've been down that road. You know, you got to take your time, because if you don't, you're going to end up with something that you really didn't want. And then you're probably going to be in love with them. You know, after that, you're going to fall for them, whatever. But you're not getting along because you don't have anything in common. Because maybe you were so lonely that you just jumped into it. And believe me, I understand being alone, and because I considered I was with somebody for a long time, and we just didn't get along, and then I ended up being alone for a year or so, and I considered that I was alone for a lot of years, and so I jumped into something I should have thought about before I did it. I really should have, because in the long run, nothing good came out of it, really. I mean, there's a lot of good come out of it, but nobody was really happy. And then all the way up to the end, when she left the world, things they hadn't been right for a long time. And I think we just hurt each other by staying together when, we really, cared about each other, but we just didn't have anything in common. No matter what you do, if you're not got anything in common with them, they may, if you can do you've got all kinds of talents. You can do all kinds of things. You play guitar, you can paint, you can draw, you can garden, you can do things, and you get with somebody who can't do jack but go to work, come home, and sit on the couch and watch movies or Wheel of Fortune or whatever, because that's what they do. If that's not what you do, you probably need to search on, because you're not going to get along. If you get with somebody who drinks and you don't drink, and they like to go to bars all the time and hang out with their friends in bars, but you don't drink and you don't get into that, you're going to have a problem, because they're going to be at the bar with their friends all the time. You're going to be sitting at the house because you don't want to go. I've been through this, Yet I drank, and that was my thing. I drank for 20 years, heavy, and that was heavy. Until people asked me, how'd you quit drinking? Well, it was killing me. I was going to die. And what it's been, I said 20 years before on a video, but after I backtracked, it's been right at 15 years that I've been sober. And I don't think about drinking. And, I can watch other people drink, or I can have I can't have nothing but I can have an import beer, one. I can't have no liquor, no nothing to tear my guts up and I'll be on the ground. And then I take a risk if I drink that one beer. So I just don't drink, because it destroyed my stomach all the years I drank. And but I got with somebody who was still drinking, heavy, and going to bars, and worked in a bar, but not just a high skill, a private club bar, but not that, I'm not gonna say the name, but one of the public clubs, where upstanding people go, whatever. Yeah, right. Anyhow, things didn't go right because I wasn't in that bar all the time, and things didn't go right. You end up running off somebody else or something, You know, or if you've got a lot of talents and they don't have any talents, they're going to end up being jealous of you. You know, you got to find somebody that at least, you know, but yet there are those that, there have been cases where people were total opposites, didn't have anything in common, and the marriage worked out perfect. Who knew? I mean, it happens. And there are people who, I remember that two politicians, one was Republican, one was Democrat, and but they made it work. They didn't talk politics with each other. When they got in the house, they didn't talk anything else. They went to work and done that. That's what they did. But when they come home, they didn't. Some people can't do that, you know. And so I don't know what to tell you except that, you know, take your time. You know, I would much rather have a woman that played guitar, and you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, you know, the chances of finding a woman that plays guitar, there's a lot of them out there, but women guitar players are a lot like men guitar players, you know. And I've put up and dealt with having women jealous over my guitars for the last time, you know. So that's just the way it is. I'm a guitar player. You don't want me to play guitar, you know, you ain't getting with me, you know. You need to be what I'm into. You need to do what I want to do, or want me to do it and help me do it. And if you don't want to do that, then I don't know. We don't get along, but just think about things before you jump into them, because you're getting something you can't get out of, or you're getting something you don't want to get out of, even though you're both miserable. You know. And if I just don't have anything to say except just take your time. Thinking, you know, I mean, I know there's people out there who've went years, and first chance they're going to get something, they should go for it if they just ain't had nothing in a long time. They had a man or a woman, or sometimes you just got to get what you got to get. Things are like that. I understand that. I understand everything. But if you can take your time and talk and find out what they're about before you go jumping in with them, because you might regret it. And once you get in something, you know, it's very, very hard to get out of it sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's impossible to get out of it, so if you're not happy. I know I'll spend the rest of my life alone if the right one don't come in, and I know what that person is and what that person, hell, I basically know who it is, but if that don't happen, you know, I've had enough letdowns, and I've let down enough. That you know, my next one's got to be right. I'm not getting any younger, so. But especially if you're young, take your time. You'll be glad you did.